Welcome back to another edition of Arizona Wildcats Insiders Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Hutchison. Arizona is prepping for Kansas as the Wildcats are coming off of an impressive 52-17 win, where Arizona just went into Colorado and barnstormed the Buffaloes. They went up 52-7 at one point in that game. Again, they won 52-17. Complete domination. Throwing the football, Noah Fafita was excellent with 4 touchdown passes, 213 yards, going 11 of 19 from the field. Just a tremendous job passing the ball from Noah Fafita. The offensive line was very good as well. I believe they gave up maybe 1, maybe 2 sacks, but overall a very stellar performance from the offensive line. The kicking game, again, special teams is a bag of mixed reviews. I feel like for Arizona this season, anytime you don't shoot yourself in the foot, it's a positive. Luke Wyson has stabilized the punt return situation. He hasn't muffed the punt, had a couple big returns, has looked really good there. Ian Wagner has been spectacular on kickoffs besides 1 or 2 kicks. Overall, he's been phenomenal for the Wildcats. Isaac Loveson has been great as a punter, booting the ball around 45 to 47 yards per punt, has looked tremendous, has had a 50-plus yarder as well. Love what I've seen out of him. But let's go back to it, and it's really the elephant in the room for the special teams unit as of right now. Michael Sagata-Medina hits a 49-yard field goal against Colorado. Looks great, and then misses a chip shot. Just wide right. Didn't get the right arc on the ball. Wide right. 6th miss of the year, 5th, 6th miss of the year. I don't know what to say, to be honest, at this point. I know they like to call him Money Mike, but you got to figure that out. You just got to figure that out. I think when you go down the stretch of these last 4 games of Arizona sitting at 5-3, every game's so important. Every game is going to be critical for Arizona to make that bowl game. I think they're going to get to 7 wins. I do think they're going to do it. But what happens when you're in a situation where you need a field goal to keep in a game, or a field goal to win a game or tie a game? You can't count on it. You almost have to go for it in those situations if it's short yardage situations, because you can't rely on a field goal, even when it's 30 yards in at this point. So that's something they need to clean up there. Defensively, they look great. 5 takeaways, like we said. Got to the quarterback several times. You had a strip sack fumble that led to some points for Arizona. The secondary looked elite. The rush defense looked solid. I know everybody wanted to panic after the Houston and BYU game, but they were able to contain Colorado. They faced 3 different quarterbacks in the game, gave up 17 points. That is not bad, because you're not preparing for 3 quarterbacks. You're preparing for maybe 2. To face 3 different quarterbacks and have a successful day speaks volumes to Danny Gonzalez and his coaching staff and his defensive unit. But overall, great performance for Arizona. Some of the takeaways I wanted to talk about from the game that Arizona can use moving forward going to Kansas State. They can kind of rely upon these things going forward, not only for Kansas. I know I said Kansas State. Not only for Kansas with the Jayhawks, but Cincinnati, ASU, Baylor, the teams they have left on the schedule. Number 1 is Trey Spivey. Can we get Trey Spivey the ball more? Can Arizona get Trey Spivey the ball more? Because he's electric when the ball's in his hands. 7 touchdowns this season on 11 touches. 7 touchdowns on 11 touches. 200-plus yards receiving, 3 yards rushing. I think he totals at 283 yards, 7 touchdowns. That's a good day at the office. And it's not just short yardage situation. You're talking about a 57-yard touchdown reception, a 75-yard touchdown reception, 3-yard reverse, whatever you want to call it there, and a couple, 20, 30-yard passes here. He's a big play machine. And right now, he's the most lethal weapon in the red zone and most lethal weapon when it comes to scoring for the receiving corps. You need to get him the ball more. So I'd like to see Trey Spivey get the ball more. Number 2 is fast starts. And this is more about road games. So the Cincinnati ASU game, you can go towards this. Arizona, outside of the last two games, throughout the Brennan history, the Brett Brennan era, Arizona struggled on the road. They're 2-5 in his tenure as head coach. And for those games, they got down by double digits really freaking fast. The Iowa State game, they were down 22-0 before you blinked. The game against Central Florida, it was over before the end of the first quarter. The game against TCU, they were up big time. ASU, over before you blinked. BYU, closed at half, over in the second half, real quick. You can't have those types of performances. You got to start off strong. And Arizona was able to do that against Houston. Again, it faltered midway through in the middle eight. They faltered in the middle eight, cost them at the end of the game. And then against Colorado, Arizona just boat raced them from the start. They looked great. So you need to be able to start quickly. I think jumping out to leads, jumping out 7-0, you got to score on your first possession, is critical for this team and this offense. That, yes, you know what? This offense has had its struggles, but it's still light years ahead of last year's offense, and it's on pace to be a top 20 offense in the country. So start off strong, and defensively, get the ball back. Get the ball back to your offense and let them do something after being up. Try to get that double-digit lead. And then lastly, what I want to talk about is takeaways, creating chaos. Not only sacks, not only takeaways, but just finding a way to create havoc in the backfield. Arizona did that against Colorado. They didn't do that against Houston. Houston just ran it right through them. They did that against BYU. They created some havoc, not in the fourth quarter, but they created chaos for most of that game. When you're winning the turnover battle, and you're getting to the quarterback, you're going to win a lot of football games. Ask Oklahoma. Oklahoma leads the country in sacks, 2-loss team. Ask Ohio State, one of the most stout defensive units out there in the country, number one in the country. 2023, that Arizona team, their defense was very good. They got to the quarterback. They had a lot of takeaways, finished 10-3. So I think you're seeing a rhythm here, and I don't think it's rocket science. And you got to find a way to create havoc in the backfield, rather it be in the running game or getting to the quarterback and pressuring them. Again, sacks aren't the only thing that matters. Yes, sacks are great, and you want sacks, but quarterback pressures, just make them off balance, make them uncomfortable. So those are some takeaways that we saw from the Colorado game that Arizona needs to implement moving forward. You got Kansas that's been Jekyll and Hyde off really as a team and offensively all season long. Their motion offense and their speed can create a lot of issues. But if you get them off script, if you get them backed up on first and second down, that's going to be some trouble for the Jayhawks. Baylor, they're not very good. I'm sorry. Baylor is not a good football team. They've gotten it done. They're probably going to make a bowl game. They're tight end, high level. But get them on script. Get to the quarterback. Make them uncomfortable. Cincinnati. You saw what Utah just did to the Bearcats. They punched them in the mouth. If you're able to punch a team in the mouth real quick and make them uncomfortable, again, you're on the road. It's a little different from Utah, but make them uncomfortable. Get in their head. That's how you create chaos. That's how you create turnovers. That's how you create big plays defensively. And then lastly, ASU. Sam Levitt's gone. And now it's Sims, who, yes, had a tremendous game against Iowa State, but has struggled for most of his career. So you're going to be able to create some issues there. He's a run-first quarterback, very much like an Avery Johnson in terms of the arm isn't there, fully developed yet, but can kill you if you're his legs. Arizona, again, BYU, Houston, they ran it right through them with their quarterbacks. So expect ASU to do something similar. And I'm sure Danny Gonzalez is thinking of that too. But creating chaos, putting them in third and long situations, third 7, third 8, third or long, and forcing them to throw the football, you're going to create turnovers. I think that's a game that Arizona could get. At the beginning of the season, you would look at that game and say, Arizona's not winning that game. Watch out. Watch out. I think Arizona can get that game. So those are some takeaways from Arizona's win over Colorado that they can move forward and help progress the team moving forward the rest of the season. Again, I think they're going to go 7-5, but there's an outside shot at 8-4 and a very slim shot at 9-3. Arizona probably won't get to a Big 12 title game, but are they better from last year? Yes. Is this team moving in the right direction? Yes. But to continue to do that, look at these 3 takeaways. Got to get the ball to Trey Spivey. Got to start strong early on the road and any situation and create chaos. If Arizona does that, they'll be well on their way to a bowl game.